Hey guys, back with another MapleStory video here. This time, Lotus run, try to test out Blink to see how effective it was in the purple orb phase in phase 2 and phase 3, testing it out, practicing in phase 1, trying to figure out the teleport places. But of course, in reality, it's not as easy, and I had some mishaps and eventually just ended up using portals because I felt safer. And then I went through Mulong, my progression, and showing you this just my point of view here, how I've run it recently, and it's been effective for me. So going into floor 43 right here, I dash a little bit, kind of avoid the attacks, and then pop Sancro so that I have it left over for floor 44 at the beginning. So I just kind of get off to a good start in for Semp. And you'll see right here that I clear it pretty fast. This is my Monday run, so I didn't have BR or anything. And it was a continuation of buffs from a previous fail. So I'm actually going to show you that I have 9 minutes left. I'm going to need to rebuff basically in order to clear floor 45. But this run was pretty good. And one of the things that I focused on this week was paying more attention to our Divine Shield, which is basically a immunity skill that immunes one attack every 30 seconds. And you'll see that right there. I have that little blue debuff at the top. That is when I know that it procs, and I can also see the animation as well when the shield goes up. So something I'm trying to pay attention to, the debuff is out for 15 seconds where it reduces HP scaling attacks, and then it's on cooldown for another 15 seconds. And then after that cooldown ends, then I can possibly, if I take another damage of physical attack or any skill in general, I would be immune to it. So right there, I might have had it up, but I chose to use Sancro for this bomb skill, rotating between Res and Sancro, which is what I consistently do to start off floor 44. So that I always have an option for the bomb skill. And so right here, usually, after Sancro, so the bomb is going to show up right here, and I could have used my Divine Shield, but I ended up proccing Res. So there is this time period right here where I don't have an iframe available when for another bomb, and you'll kind of see that I have to play it really safe and not get hit by anything so that it doesn't proc my Divine Shield for that next bomb coming up. So something I'm trying to pay attention to. Was fortunate right there that I didn't have to move for the purple map clearing ability into the flames. That definitely would have procced it. And again, it's just avoiding these tornadoes, dashing through, and here's the bomb, and this is where Divine Shield is going to proc. Just got to make sure I dodge that tornado, and it procced, and I didn't die to the bomb. So that is something that I'm trying to pay attention more to. It's very effective in floor 44 for Paladins, and it allowed me to clear it in pretty good time. Now, like I mentioned, I would have had to rebuff for floor 45 to clear this. So I really went into this run just practicing floor 44. I knew Mugong was going to be a grind, and I probably wasn't going to clear it because I couldn't waste time rebuffing. So I was really just trying to play pretty aggro in this one as well, and just try to pay attention to skills and animations, and again, proc Divine Shield and pay attention to that as well. So here I'm rotating for DRs with my Sancro, my Res, and my stuns. So I always have an option for that. Every second of downtime is really important for floor 45 just to maximize DPS. In my previous video, I didn't clear. I ran out of time. So now I'm trying to be more aware of what skills he's doing and play a little bit more aggressive because I know that every attack counts. So right here, I'm just trying to outrange his forward attacks, all these attacks right here, just trying to get a good gauge of the range. And here, actually, I proc Divine Shield. That would have killed me, that little Earthquake skill. So now I'm trying to pay attention to that 30-second increment where I can basically play a little bit more aggressive again so that I can, because I know I have that little bit of safety net from any attack. But in a little bit, I'm going to actually die and not outrange his Kamehameha attack, his front orb attack. So right here, I think I'm going to proc Divine Shield again, right there. And then in a little bit, I'm going to die because I don't outrange this skill right here. But it was a good lesson learned, progression, just things I'm paying attention to and working on as a Paladin point of view. and each rep kind of counts when it comes to Mulong. So Divine Shield is a really good skill, especially for Mulong. Don't know how effective it is in other content, but in Mulong, you can at least pay attention to it and use it properly at specific times. And then in this run, Lotus, I wanted to do a couple things. First off, I rerolled to EXP Hypers, so I have a little bit less damage, still BRing in this run. I did, like I mentioned, take off Sancro. I just wanted to have a little different challenge, see what it was like, how much my damage differed when I have, without that safety net. So you'll see right here, I'm on the bottom, and I tried not to use my res iframe as well, but it kind of came into habit, second nature. And right there, I tried to practice blinking, and I ended up actually procced Heaven's Door earlier and blinked into the laser a little bit. So a few misplays by me at the beginning, but you can see the damage is still pretty good. Obviously, the lasers are pretty slow. And I also tried to manual my cooldowns, my Echo and my Weapon Aura, just because at the end of phase 1, we're pretty close to clearing with 3 minutes, and I didn't want to have the cooldowns up while we were transitioning from phase 1 to phase 2. Just precious seconds that I don't get to use my cooldowns, and so I wanted to see if that made a difference as well. So right there, I used my iframe to try and res. He was out of range, so we just had to take the res anyways. That was a misplay by me, but now I tried to blink, getting a little bit better. In my opinion, I think it's fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I still obviously had to use the platforms and navigate it that way. So my DPS is actually obviously going to suffer. Not surprising. I think I'm about 20 bill damage less at this 2-minute mark. Usually around 8-minute mark, I'm around 130. So it's fine. I expected that. It's obviously survivability. Being able to just stand there and DPS plays a huge factor into gameplay and damage overall. So that's one of the advantages to playing a paladin, and I wanted to just see what it was like without it, right? See what, add another layer to it and test out for myself to see, if I could do phase 1 with the blink skill, without dying, without Sancro in general. And I thought I did pretty well. I died right here, kind of just in between skills, a bad, I died twice, I think, overall in phase 1, but I think I could have done better. Definitely could have played better and avoided it. And I didn't use my Hero's Will at all in this run. So definitely room to improve. I'm going to try again next week and just have a little bit of fun with it, make it more competitive. You see, I'm not the top damage anymore. Our team honestly cranked. They did really, really well. And that phase 1 was pretty smooth besides, a few of our deaths here and there. So then here I popped my my Echo and my Weapon Aura right at phase 2, just to maximize again the uptime there. And that's where I'm kind of going to creep up again in the damage charts. And we're going to be right on schedule. Not surprising there. And the team, we had a good run. And we had a little bit of miscues in phase 3. And then I'm going to show you we had 2 purple orb phases, so that didn't help, but it allowed me to kind of showcase and test to see if the blink skill, the one you can craft as a V skill, how effective it is in the purple orb phase. And that's what the clip you saw at the beginning of the video, and just something I've wanted to have fun with and see if it worked, and it did. And it was a lot of fun. And prepping for Damien, after I as I'm recording this video, we just found out that that little timeline of the year came out, the roadmap per se of what's going to come up, and Damien's coming out in February. Apparently, I thought it was going to be rebalanced, but Damien's already coming out in February. Don't suspect anyone's going to clear it until probably V3 comes out, but it's going to be out there. It's going to be fun, and it saw KMSM clear it by using the blink skill and kind of flying, so I figured why not try and test it in Lotus. Maybe it'll help some people with this purple orb phase, or maybe they'll use it for other situations as well to survive. And that's kind of the fun in the game, right? Seeing these new things that were implemented with previous rebalances or patches. And I think you're going to see in a little bit the purple orb phase come up. And you see I'm also not top damage. Our Shadow Word played really well. I think he PR'd in this one as well, but not surprising that it's a lot more competitive. Pallies are a lot more, not having 30-second iframe every 90 seconds is, shocker, really important to DPS. So right here, had to dodge that orb, that flame orb, but got to dodge, most of the purple orb phase. Not the entire thing, but it worked, right? So it has a purpose there, I guess, if people want to go that route. I thought it was fun. I didn't even realize I died there. Oh, I got one-shotted, yeah. I think I hit by like 200k, but that was unfortunate. Third death of the day for me, and so that's all right. But there I manualed Echo and Weaponor again, so a little bit behind on cooldowns. It didn't line up perfectly with Benediction and things like that, but it was fine. It was a good test to see. And here comes platform phase right here. Gonna stun it up. So we're just gonna keep our DPS going while our cooldowns are up. Not an issue. And we're making good time. I think we cleared just about, around that just pre 9-minute mark, which is pretty standard for us. A few of us BR'd, things like that. So that really helps. But this is the same team we've been running for a couple months now, I think it feels like. So we have a good synergy and kind of good teamwork and understanding of when our phantoms have to use our TLs or res and things like that. So the comms are pretty quiet in these runs. People already know what to do without needing direction, which is nice. And so here's another purple orb phase right here. And again, I'm just going to fly up. I think I would have got hit by that robot if it wasn't for my divine shield, and come back down, and we're all good to go. So that was, that's just a showcase right there. It works if you guys want to try it. People that don't have iframes, things like that. I'm curious if it actually works for the electrocution phase as well. I assume it would. If that's something, for some reason stuns get messed up, you don't have an iframe or Sancro or whatnot to survive the electrocution phase, no platforms about, I think it would work, right? It'd be up there long enough where you wouldn't die on the ground. So maybe that's something people can try out and test out as well. Just options, right? That's just another thing in the toolkit to use for classes that don't have, they just want to have more things to do and test out and see what works best for them. But that was my run, Lotus run and Mulong. I was just under 40 bill. So obviously my peaks weren't as high. My DPS wasn't as high. Probably a little bit of no Sancro, a little bit of EXP hypers. But again, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.